Hey everybody, on Facebook and YouTube. I'm so happy that you joined me. Um, this Storytime Sunday is Storytime Sunday 17, and it's called Love at Beyond Films. Now, Beyond Films is something like Netflix or PureFlix, like a net streaming service. And today's story is about Chloe. Chloe is a young girl about like in her 20s, 23 or 24, somewhere around there. And what happens to Chloe is she decides to sign up for this internet movie streaming service like Netflix or PureFlix, which is the Christian version of Netflix. They stream movies, TV shows, and everything like that. So I should say Chloe has a neighbor that's kind of strange. Like she her neighbor Stephanie is very strange. She leaves her clothes everywhere and finds it. Acts like it's nothing. She's dirty and she's untidy and she's kind of haphazard. And Stephanie is a very organized person and very organized, very ordered. So these two ladies living together, Stephanie and Chloe, is very combative sometimes. Anyway, so Chloe signs up for this streaming service called Beyond Films, which is a Christian streaming service. And when she signs up, for some reason, she can't watch the movie. So she fills out all her information seemingly, and she can't find the thing to watch the movie. So she's like, what's going on? Did I fill out everything? Yes, address, yes, and yes. So she calls customer service and speaks to Bill. No, she speaks to Adam. And Adam says, hello. Hello. Thank you for calling Beyond Films customer support. How may I help you? And she says, yes, my name is Chloe. I've just signed up for Beyond Films. And but I can't watch a movie. I've just signed up. I put in all my information and I still. Adam said, let us check your account. And then he says, oh, everything looks good. But I see here that you signed up for the service, but you didn't give your payment information. And she says, no, it's impossible. I had to have. And she looks at she said, Adam said, did you go to your account information? He said, go to your account information for me. And then she goes to her account information and looks at her address and her telephone number, and she's looking at the subscription thing that that says subscribe here, but then she goes down to billing and payment information, and it's right. There's no, and Adam's right, there's no billing or payment information. And she laughs and says, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to put in my billing and payment information." Thank you so much, Adam. Uh, and she puts in her billing and payment information, and then the movie begins to work. Um, and then she says, "Okay, Adam, it's working now. Bye." And so she watches the movie, and the next day, a few days go by, and her weird roommate, her weird roommate, like Chloe comes home and her weird roommate is walking around naked, and just really strange. And um, she does her work, and then she goes and tries to watch a movie, and then when she's watching a movie, it cuts off. The movie cuts off right in the middle, and she tries to reset it, it doesn't work. She tries to do something, it doesn't work. She tries to, she tries everything to get it working, and it doesn't work. So she calls the Beyond customer support line, Beyond Films customer support line, and lo and behold, coincidentally, she gets the same support person. And then he says, "This is Beyond Films customer support. This is Adam speaking. How may I help you?" And she says, "Yes, Adam. Remember me, Chloe, from the other day? Well, it seems that I was watching a movie and the streaming just stopped right in the middle of my movie, and I tried to get it going, but it seemed to have stopped. Nothing's working. I've tried replugging it and plugging it again, my internet. I tried calling my internet provider, and the rest of my internet's fine, but the movie stream doesn't seem to be working." He says, "Let me check if everything's all right on our end." A few minutes later, he says, "It looks to be all right in an account. Your account seems to be all right." He says, "Have you been plugging in other devices?" He says, "Because sometimes when there are other devices plugged in, it interrupts the streaming process." And then she says, "There are," and then she looks down. She looks down and sees that Chloe has a hair dryer in the same outlet. And this is like a mega hair dryer, not one of those little household things, like just like a major souped up like kind of hair dryer. Uh, so she plugs out the hair dryer and plugs in the internet again, and the movie starts working. And then I'm trying to watch a movie, and your hair dryer was clogging up the connection. So could I watch the movie first um, and then while I'm working again, you can finish drying your hair? And Chloe says, no, you always get your way. You're so pretty. And Chloe says, I hate living here. And then she storms off. She's like, okay, fine. I'll let you watch your stupid movie and let my hair air dry. And not Chloe. Her roommate said, I'll let you watch your stupid movie and let my hair air dry. So basically, so the roommate left mad, and unbeknownst to Chloe, she left Adam still on the phone. And Adam said, hello. And she's like, oh no, I still left him on the phone. So she picks up the phone and says, yes, Adam, it's working. It's because of my roommate. She had this super powered hair dryer in the outlet, and it was clogging up the signal. And he said, that's no problem. My roommate does things like that too. It drives me crazy. And she says, gotta love roommates. And he says, yes, you do. And then he said, is there anything else I can help you with today? And she says, no, everything's fine. And then they hung up. And then a few days later, her mom calls, Chloe's mom calls, and Chloe goes over to visit her mom, just to visit her mom. And now for the streaming service, you're supposed to be able to cross computers, like to cross devices. You can have it up to 4 devices, and she has a plan that you could use it up to 4 devices. And her mom and her, after talking and after dinner, decide to watch a movie using her Beyond Films subscription. But when they log in, something is wrong. And so she calls customer service, gets Adam again, and this time it is on their end. Something technical with her mother's connection. Anyway, he fixes it, and she says, thanks, Adam. I really appreciate what you've been doing for me. I seem to always get you. And she's like, well, I'm the technician in your area. So it's me and two other guys, but I seem to be working every time you have a, a problem. That's why you seem to always get me. He can help. And she's like, oh no, I'm okay. And then Chloe hangs up. And Chloe's mom, as mothers do, she's like, you seem really familiar with the Beyond Films customer service representative. He's, she's like, yeah. Chloe's like, yeah, his name is Adam. I've had to call a few times for a few different things, and we've got to talking. And her mother's like, well, is he single? And she's like, Mom, I don't know if he's single. He's a customer service representative. Um, he's, she's like, honey, you're not getting any younger. You're almost 35. No, she's like, you're she's like, you're 5 years to 30, honey. You don't want those eggs drying up. And she's like, Mom, please. I don't even know if he's married or what his situation is. She's like, well, you can ask him the next time he calls, and next time you call him, it's like, Mom, I can't call him. I have to have a problem with my internet service to call him. Oh, she's like, eventually you will, and when you do, you can ask him if he's single and what his marital situation is. She's like, Mom, I can't do that. Thanks, but no thanks. And she laughs and everything's forgotten. And she goes to work the next day, and there is a power surge at work for a few minutes because they're working on something with the building, and there's a power surge, and she Chloe there's a power surge at work. So during this power surge, the power goes out for just about 5 minutes, and then when it comes back on, they begin working again, and then but at lunchtime, Chloe's boss is really lenient. So at lunchtime, she wants to watch a movie, but because of the power surge she had at work, she can't watch that movie. So she calls Adam from customer service and says, look, there was a power surge at work. And while he's fixing it, she's like, oh, when I called you from my mom's the other night, she she's like, she's like, I was at my mom's the other night when I called you, and when I hung up the phone, she wanted me to ask if you were single. Could you believe that? And he's like, yeah, my mother's the same way. She wants to get me married before I'm 30. I said, Mom, I'm only 25. She's like, oh, I'm 23. So they both say, "Gotta love mothers." Yes, we do. He's like, "Well, it should be fixed now." And she's like, "Okay, let me check," and it's fixed. And so they hang up, and um, she watches a bit of her movie and then goes back to work after her lunchtime is over. And then when the day is over, uh, she takes a bit of work home. And then when she's working at home, she hears the phone ring, and and uh, she goes to answer it, and she's like, "Hello," and she hears a familiar male voice on the other line say, "Hello." And she's like he's like, "Hello," and she's like, "Adam from beyond Film's customer service." She's like, he's like, "Yeah. Um, I hope you don't mind me getting your number and calling you. I'm not, I'm not, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm breaking all kinds of rules, but I couldn't help but think about you and wonder if you'd like to go out sometime." Uh, and she's like, "Sure, I'd love to go out sometime with you." And so they talk for a while, and so they agree to go out sometime. So they start going out. Um, they have a great first date. She finds out, Chloe finds out that Adam is a Christian, um, and he finds out that she is a believer, and they have just some wonderful chemistry together. They laugh a lot. They really have a great time. So they go out again and again and again, and then a few months go by, and it gets really serious. Um, and they really feel that God is creating something special between them. So Chloe's roommate sees how happy Chloe is, going out every night and just getting more involved in her church and reading her word more because of Adam's influence. Chloe was a Christian and she enjoyed Christian films, but she wasn't an all-in Christian. She went to church, believed in God, but before she met Adam, it was a totally different story. And when she met Adam, she got so much into her faith that it was really amazing. So Chloe's roommate was jealous, and so she called Adam's boss because she was so jealous and told his boss that he got a customer's number and is now dating a customer. So Adam, the following Monday morning, Adam went into work fully expecting to have his job and everything. And he was told, his boss said, "Sit down, Adam." He's like, "You're aware of the rules that we're not supposed to be fraternizing with customers and taking personal information of the customer. And he's like, yes, sir. He's like, sir, how did you? He's like, um, he's like, someone brought it to my attention that you were fraternizing with a customer, and not only were you fraternizing with her, but you took her number from the records, and then now you're now dating her. And this totally goes against our policy. Our client's privacy is paramount, and we cannot have employees break that rule. No matter how much of a romantic I am, I just cannot keep you on because of this. Even though your record is stellar, I cannot have a person on my staff that breaches confidentiality. He's like, I'm sorry, I really am, but I'm gonna have to let you go. And Adam, after he's let go, he goes to Chloe's house and Chloe's workplace. He shows up at her workplace, and she says, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And he says, "I was just fired because I wasn't supposed to get your number from your private records or anything. Ask for your job back." He's like, "Chloe, it doesn't work like that. Even if I break up with you, I still committed the wrong, and they won't have me back." And he's like, "And anyway, I won't break up with you. I love you, Chloe, and there's no job that is worth me losing you." And so when Chloe came home, because Adam told her that somebody out her roommate for letting Adam lose his job, and she's like, Chloe's like, how could you be so vindictive? How could you let Adam lose his job? And he's like, Chloe, I'm so sorry. I was so mad at you for being happy. I saw how happy you are with Adam, and I was jealous. I'm so sorry. And she's like, sorry or not, you're moving out. I can't take this anymore. Your crazy ways, your friends outside at all hours, the noise, the weird rituals, the weird smells, you walking around naked. I can't take this anymore. And so she kicked her roommate out. And then she calls her boyfriend over. She calls Adam over and says, I kicked her out. I couldn't take it anymore. And he's like, babe, what your roommate did was wrong, but what you did was even worse. She's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yes, your roommate made me lose my job, but kicking her out didn't give me my job back. Forgive her. Show her the love of Christ. Don't throw her away because she did something wrong. show her love, show her kindness, show her forgiveness, even though she did something wrong by ratting us out. And and I did do something wrong by taking your number when I wasn't supposed to. So she had every right to tell on me. I shouldn't have broken company rules and just did what I wanted with your personal information that you didn't even give to me. You gave it to the company. And she's like, "You're right." And then so Chloe finds her roommate, and then Chloe says, "I'm sorry. I was so mad that you got the love of my life fired that I couldn't see anything but red." But Adam talked to me and told me that it's only like Christ to forgive. And I want you to come back and live with me. She's like, "Really? Even though I'm weird, I have strange rituals. Even though you're weird and have strange rituals." And so the roommate moves back in and starts going to church with Adam and Chloe. And then they just start becoming, all three of them start becoming the best of friends. And at the end, when Adam starts his own streaming company because he really loved his job, and then after he lost it, he didn't know what to do, but he had the contact, some contacts from his former position, and he started his own company called Heavenly Meetings Entertainment. Um, and they lived and they were happy and they loved each other. And the three of them ran the business together, and the business grew far beyond what they could ever have ever dreamt. So that's today's Storytime Sunday. It was kind of taken from a real experience that I had from a streaming service where I thought I had signed up, but I forgot to enter my payment information. So that's where the story had come from. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have a wonderful, restful evening. Take care. Goodbye.